full-time RV living is such an adventure, but there are aspects to this lifestyle that are, dare I say, embarrassing.
No one's going to talk about.
In this video, we're going to share 10 embarrassing things about full-time RV living that most won't admit to.
Welcome back to the RV Odd Couple. My name is John.
And I'm Mercedes, and we RV pursuing freedom, independence, and adventure.
Because life is so short, guys.
It really is. And you know, if you're new to this channel, you'll realize really quickly that we like to tell it like it is. We share the good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, we're not afraid to go after topics that most channels won't go after.
And we're not afraid to look bad, right? And we're gonna
tell the truth.
We're gonna look really, really bad in this video. And so my only hope is that if you can think of another embarrassing aspect to RVing, if you can add it in the comments so we're not alone, you know, share in solidarity with the whole embarrassing yourself. We'd really appreciate that.
Quite frankly, I think this is a ridiculous topic. Mercedes has been wanting to do this video for a year, probably longer. I've always said no one's going to be interested, but I finally gave in today and said, babe, you want to talk about 10 embarrassing things that most RVers won't admit.
Yeah.
Most of these I'll admit to.
Yeah.
Go right ahead and do it. So here we go, guys.
Because it's ridiculous is exactly why we need to have this conversation.
So she won the battle, and here we go. What is number one, my love?
Number one is that chances are in your full-time RVing adventure, you're going to flash the neighbor. And let me explain. You see, I can't tell you how often, like, you take a shower, maybe you don't have a towel handy, and, you know, the RV is small, so you just have to walk, like, what, a few feet to get to your closet, right?
Well, not at all times are your shades pulled down. Everyone outside can see every single square inch of what's inside. So make sure that your shades in your RV are pulled down.
You might flash the neighbor, get over it. And the reality is, and this is number two, that's when you bother to actually shower. Because the reality is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but there's something about the RV lifestyle that is really easy to skip a shower.
Yeah, and this is so true. In life before RVing, I started my day every morning with a shower. I don't do that anymore, you know, and which is one of the reasons I always have a ball cap with me. The truth is, most RVers that are full-time don't shower every single day, and quite frankly, I don't think there's any need of it. Now, I'm not going to tell you how many times a week I shower.
We got to leave some mystery.
But it's not every day.
The third embarrassing reality to RV living that a lot of people won't talk about is the smells. And I'm not just talking about because we haven't showered.
The significant other.
And well, that's a big one. Like, you are going to smell your partner.
You're going to smell everything. If you think you knew your partner before you started RVing, wait until you get into a small RV. Because anybody who goes in that bathroom and leaves something in there, the whole RV is going to smell it. Now, we've gotten a lot better at running our exhaust fan.
Venting.
Yeah, we've gotten really, really good at knowing when to turn that on, usually a minute or two before you start the process. Just make sure you shut your exhaust fan off before you flush, because if you don't, as soon as you open that channel at the bottom of the toilet, it sucks that smell up. So the smells, you just got to get used to it. It really is a process.
Well, and he's always like, it doesn't smell this time. And it's like, honey, it smells. But it's not just
mine doesn't stink, babe.
Yeah, he always says, mine doesn't stink. No, it's not just that. Even gray water is smelly. And sometimes you'll be walking down the road in the park. And you'll get a whiff of the gray water.
Yeah, all over the park, guys. Remember, this is RVing, so they take your 4-inch and you put it in the ground, and it's typically they're not sealed.
Yeah.
So you're going to get smells when you start RVing that you're not used to.
Yeah, but don't worry, you'll get used to it. And no, you'll also, we got a diffuser, which helps, because you don't really want to light candles in the RV for safety. So we use a diffuser, essential oils. It helps a lot. Yeah,
we love the diffuser. And my favorite part of the day to walk around an RV park is usually right around dinner time, because all you can smell is grill.
True.
The grill, and people are cooking things, you know, and it smells wonderful.
Yeah.
But just know that you're going to smell more stuff than you typically do in normal life.
So another embarrassing side to RV life that I don't hear enough people talking about. You see, laundry is a really big deal when you don't have an onboard washer and dryer. And even when you do have an onboard 2-in-1 washer and dryer, laundry is still challenging because you can't do like a normal load of wash. So you might find that you use clothes maybe more than once, and you might find that you just smell them to see if it's okay to use them.
The smell test.
Yeah, the smell test. And so it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but when you have to do laundry at the laundromat, last week it was $26 because I washed the bed sheets too to get all the laundry done. So, you might kind of sniff test it a little.
Yeah, sniff test it. Now, this shirt, I wear this thing every single day, so it doesn't make a difference to me, but I still smell the armpits to make sure it's clean.
And he has multiples of the same shirt.
I have 5 of the same shirt. I don't wear this one in every single video that we do.
And speaking of clothes, I've noticed that after 2 years of full-time RVing, my wardrobe has kind of been downgraded a little bit. Like, jeans are fancy.
One of the things you will notice in RV life is people, they dress more comfortably. A lot more sweats, a lot more stretchy pants. That's what the girls like to wear. But obviously, when you're traveling in RV, the smaller that RV is, you got to kind of design your wardrobe around being light, easy to fold, not taking up a lot of space, that can also be reused 1 or 2 days in a row.
Yeah. And actually, funny story, because you are using the same clothes like more often, they're going through more wear and tear. I remember this is like an important meeting for us as RVers, talking to a manufacturer. Like, this is a big deal, right? But we were traveling that day, so I'm just wearing a long sleeve t-shirt. Well, I raised my hand to like point at something, and the marketing exec like looks at my armpit. So I look at my armpit to see what's there, and there was a hole in the armpit. And this is like a business deal. So keep a fancy outfit, but don't be shocked if you find you're wearing sweats more than not. We really aren't trashy people, but y'all should subscribe because we're willing to be so honest and tell it like it is. So back to number 6. Your neighbor can hear you inside.
This is a big deal, guys.
So, like, if you're outside with the neighbor talking and then you come inside and you're like, oh man, that guy sure was a jerk. Well, chances are he heard you, so be careful.
Gonna hear, yeah. Some nights I'll sit outside just looking up the stars and you can hear everything from the neighbor next door. Now, I do not believe in eavesdropping, but it's hard not to hear. Pretty much whenever there's a fight between a couple in a park, everybody in the park knows it happened. So if you do anything more than whisper, your neighbors are going to hear you.
Yeah, so quiet when you're fighting. And speaking of judging your neighbor or being judged by your neighbor, there's kind of this, I don't know, rite of passage. You know, when somebody new is coming into the park to park their RV, it's kind of like a drop what you're doing and watch them kind of deal.
Yeah. Usually on Friday night, maybe even Thursday sometimes, there's a really cool spectacle where as soon as you see a newbie pull in with like a 40-foot rig, it's always fun to stop everything you're doing, get the popcorn, and watch people park. We've had some really good laughs. We've even gone and grabbed the camera sometimes to watch people parking their rigs.
And when we're watching you park your RV, see, some people are going to be more discreet, like we go inside and secretly watch you. Other people are going to stand up and blatantly just watch you park the RV. So when this is happening, we're secretly talking about how we would park your RV. We're talking about like what you did well, what you didn't do well. And we're also looking to see if you're going to hit anything.
And if you're one of those people that will stop from walking or on your golf cart, stop when somebody is trying to park their RV, stop doing that. Especially when you're new. There's enough pressure at parking an RV to drive a guy mad. And I've seen guys, after they've tried to park their RV with their wife, with sweat pouring off them. That's how stressful it can be. So when somebody's parking, don't stand there and watch them because you're going to put the pressure on them.
Well, if you're going to watch, which we're going to watch what you're doing, but just try to be discreet about it so you're not adding more pressure.
Exactly. And speaking of parking, guys, I really don't want your help when I'm parking my rig. I've gotten pretty good at it, and I've got backup cameras, okay? Typically when I get to a park and it's one of those golf cart people that needs to escort you to site and then tell you how to park, those guys drive me insane. Now, at first, I used to deal with it. Now what I do is I tell that person that wants to help me, okay, fine, if you want to help me, go stand over there where I can see you, and then I might ask you a question, but just let me do this by myself. I'm a full-time RVer. I know how to do this, and I don't need your help.
And speaking of setting up, I don't really want to talk to you when I'm setting up my RV or when I'm about to leave.
Especially when you're about to leave. Don't be one of those people that walks up and starts talking to somebody that is going through their breakdown checklist, guys. You can literally miss some crucial stuff. So when somebody's breaking down, if you're breaking down, you've got to focus all of your attention. So if somebody comes up and starts a conversation with you as you're breaking down, which is worse than when you're setting up, I think, just kindly look at them. I've done this twice now. Hey, listen, I'm breaking down my RV. Let me go through my complete checklist, get my RV ready to go so my family can safely move to the next location. And when I'm done, I'd be happy to talk to you for a few minutes.
And number 10, the reality is that when you RV full time, you are going to get fat.
That's not true. This is one that Mercedes and I completely disagree on. I lost 50 pounds since we started RVing, and Mercedes found a tenth of that.
I appreciate you lying. I really do. Thank you, baby. Some days I'll look at my step counter and I'll be like at 52 steps. That's like basically bed rest, okay? So let me rephrase it. The reality is that when you're a full-time RVer, it's really, really easy to gain weight because it's such a small enclosed quarters, and you have to work really, really hard to make yourself get out and make yourself move.
You will either lose weight or you'll gain weight. It's rare that somebody stays right where you are when you start full-time RVing.
Well, yeah, because you change your pattern so drastically.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he can eat donuts with impunity. So we went through all 10.
All right, this is the dumbest video that I think that we've ever done in our lives,
Which
babe.
is awesome.
Whatever.
So
I will be shocked if more than 100 people watch this video.
okay, whatever.
Well, if you enjoyed this video, because I think it was ridiculous, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down, and more importantly, let us know if we missed something. Hopefully, we'll see you in the next video. If this video didn't scare you away, hopefully we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, if you're not scared, you're our people.